Well, let's take a look back at Canada Day. Look at this. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at your story here. Out on the West Coast Thursday, conditions are going to be pretty warm for the BC interior. Going to be heating up into Monday afternoon. Thursday morning here also comfortable as we look across the prairies and then into Ontario. We're not seeing much in the way of active weather. Overall, the forecast is looking pretty pleasant as high pressure is coming into place. And those rainy conditions, you'll see them out through the Maritimes that will move through. Okay, now let's turn it over to the science here. A chocolate car and a hot car. Here's Leanna. Well, check out this scene here. Awesome. I'm glad you're here with us today. We'll get you through Thursday, but first we'll talk about our developing stories here at the Weather Network. Unfortunately, active weather, sparks, firework, cancellations. I'm going to show you some interesting pictures coming up. Also, the traveler's forecast. We'll even talk about the Caribbean. That's ahead. And summer science, melting chocolate. Leanna McLean has a very interesting report that's coming up throughout the hour. I want to switch things over right now to social media, talking about some of the firework cancellations. Out east, a lot of them were canceled, unfortunately, because of the winds, the fog, and the rain. But out through Saskatchewan, Emma Lake, Michael Lamb tweets me this summer's night. But this is what it's been looking like recently, and that's because of all the smoke from the forest fires up north. They've trickled as far south down as Regina and Estevan. We do have air quality statements in place, so of course with these dry conditions, these hazy conditions as well, fireworks were canceled through many places throughout Saskatchewan. But in Ottawa, Kim McDonald, you know Kim McDonald, she was able to capture this scene here on Parliament Hill. The fireworks went off without a hitch, and fortunately the rain cleared away just in time. Let's talk about our weather story here now at the Weather Network. This is a look at national high temperatures on Wednesday. So this is a little taste of what Canada Day felt like for many Canadians. 23 in Regina, 23 goes for Toronto as well. Hey, same thing in Halifax, popular number for Canada Day. I also show you Edmonton, also at 23, Saskatoon, a very popular number, I'll say, for Canada Day. As we look forward here, we'll get into Thursday. So these are a look at some of the high temperatures. We're going to see a little bit of a warming trend out for Ontario as well. We've been a couple degrees below seasonal here. And then also watching the thunderstorm risk. That's going to linger across the prairie provinces. Now, as I was showing you in those photos there of Emma Lake, you can see why air quality advisories are in place through Saskatchewan and through Manitoba. Very dry conditions as well. And I know a lot of people are hoping for a good dose of rain, a good soaking of rain. We are seeing a few systems roll through the prairies, but unfortunately it has a lot of convective activity associated with that. So lightning in these very dry conditions, sometimes not the best case scenario, that's for sure. When we look at some of the accumulated rainfall, you can see heavier amounts up through Ontario here, but across the prairies it doesn't look like we're getting a good soaking of rain to really help eliminate or relieve the situation of those wildfires. As we look at Calgary's forecast here, this is very interesting. One system that we are seeing coming into play for the weekend is going to have such a defined cold front that Friday into Saturday it will chop down Calgary's daytime highs by about 10 degrees. So we're really going to feel a change here. And then for Toronto, also feeling a change. Look at this. Humidity comes back into play and it's finally going to feel like summer. I'm glad you've joined us here at the Weather Network because coming up in our next segment, we're featuring you right here on TV in the Weather Selfie. You don't want to miss it. And right now on the Weather Selfie, it is all about Canada Day. Happy Canada Day, by the way. We asked you for your videos and your pictures. How are you celebrating today? And right now, our Weather Selfie goes out to a very enthusiastic bunch. This here is Christopher Palumbo's video from Cambridge, Ontario. So much effort, so patriotic, guys. We love that video. If you want to watch the whole thing, yeah, they sang the whole anthem. You can find that on my Twitter at Rachel Schoutsen. But first, let me give you your personalized forecast. We loved your video. Thanks, Chris. So this is what Cambridge is looking like into Thursday afternoon. 22 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud. Overall, great weather on the way for southern Ontario as we look into this weekend. So if you want to be featured right here on the Weather Selfie, all you have to do is connect with us. All right, let's talk about some of your pictures here. You use that hashtag from Canadian Tire, fly your Canadian flag, and look at this. This one goes out from Sault Ste. Marie. Great one here. John tweets us this one from Mississauga. Again, using that hashtag. Follow it on Twitter. Great, great photos. This one comes out from Calgary. The Canadian flag there in the breakfast. I really like this one. We also have this really nice photo there. Look at how much red is in that one. That one's by Shelby. And this one's interesting. I did not know this. Did you know that the world's longest covered bridge is in Harvard? Heartland, New Brunswick. Fly your Canadian flag. You can see it right there in the distance. Now, we got a lot of great pictures as well submitted online at theweathernetwork.com. This here is one of my favorites. This is by Brooke Taylor in St. George, Ontario. And then also this one as well. What a nice family picture here. This one by Heather Howes. That's from Grey Highlands, Ontario as well. So great pictures. If you want to test maybe your Canadian knowledge, well, you can do that online at theweathernetwork.com. It's the Canada Day quiz. How much do you really know? So you better take that one, okay? Let's talk about your weather again. We'll switch over to the maps here. These are your forecast conditions in through Thursday. So this is a look right across the country. If we focus in on Ontario here, high pressure is coming into place and we're going to see very dry conditions over the next little while. The thunderstorms into Manitoba for Thursday, so we're going to keep a very close eye on this one. On Canada Day, Saskatchewan really was your big story. And then we're also still seeing very dry conditions off in the west coast. I want you to stay with us here at the Weather Network. We've got more on your forecast and we'll get you into the weekend as well. Don't go anywhere. Hey, look at this. Wow. On the West Coast Thursday, conditions are going to be pretty warm for the BC interior. Going to be heating up into Monday afternoon. Thursday morning here, also comfortable as we look across the prairies and then into Ontario. We're not seeing much in the way of active weather. Overall, the forecast is looking pretty pleasant as high pressure is coming into place. And those rainy conditions, you'll see them out through the Maritimes that will move through. Okay, now let's turn it over to the science here. A chocolate car and a hot car. Here's Leanna.